Welcome back, math contest practitioners and math enthusiasts in general. It's your fellow mathematician Root Beer here. We're going to continue on with the paper we just started. That was the 2013 CSMC. Sorry, it's the abbreviations are so close together. CSMC, the senior paper. So that's 11s and 12. That's the grade we're looking at basically for the educational bar we're trying to get over. So let's take a look at our next question, which is question number 2. Alright, what does question number 2 say? Mr. Matheson, I hope that was intentional, Mr. Matheson, that's nice. So Mr. Matheson has 4 cards, numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. He gives 1 card each to Ben, Wendy, Riley, and Sarah. I wonder if these are relatives of the person who made up the question. That does happen from time to time. Usually if it's not an Alice, Beryl, Colleen, Daryl sort of situation, they're usually relatives or someone that they know. So, 1 card each to Ben, Wendy, Riley, and Sarah. Ben is not given the number 1. Wendy's number is 1 greater than Riley's number. So Riley couldn't be given the 4 because then Wendy wouldn't get a card. Which number could Sarah not have been given? Okay. So with a question like this, there's sort of 2 ways we could approach it, and they're fairly similar. What we can do is we can say, okay, Ben can't have 1. Wendy's number, we can call that W. W's got to be R plus 1, where R is Riley's number, and we could try and use some logic reasoning to say, okay, what Sarah can and cannot have. But given the small number of cases, I mean, the numbers are 1, 2, 3, and 4, what we can do is say, can Sarah have a 4? So if we give Sarah 4, what number might Ben have, what number might Wendy and Riley have that make all this work out, that satisfy these other conditions, that Ben doesn't have 1 and Wendy's number is 1 greater than Riley? If it turns out we can't find any scenario where Sarah's got a 4 and the other conditions are satisfied, then we know Sarah can't have the number 4. If, on the other hand, we can find a condition where it's satisfied, like Wendy gets the number 2, Riley gets the number 1, and Ben gets the number 3, we know that Sarah could have a 4 in some hypothetical situation. We're not asked about probabilities, but we are trying to find possible events that satisfy this. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're starting going to say, can Sarah have the 1? Can Sarah have the 2? Can Sarah have the 3? Can Sarah have the 4? And see if we can find situations that satisfy all the other conditions. So, So it's possible she can have a card numbered N. I'm not going to be able to fit that word in there. So as long as we can find, if we can give her a 3 and then make it so that Ben, Wendy, and Riley get numbers so that their given conditions are satisfied, then it's possible Sarah could have gotten card N. If there's no way to do this, if once she has card 3, there's no way to give Ben, Wendy, and Riley cards 1, 2, and 4, so that their conditions are satisfied, and then we know Sarah couldn't have a 3. Can Sarah have 1? Okay. There's not a whole lot of method to this. I mean, there's 3 other cards, so we ask, okay, could Ben have 2? Well, that's fine. Yeah, definitely Ben can have 2. Could Wendy have 3? No, because then Riley would need to have 2. Because remember, Wendy's card is 1 more than Riley's card. But we could do Ben has 2, Wendy has 4, and Riley has 3. That's possible, and then Sarah would have 1, because Ben doesn't have card 1, so we need that, and Wendy's card is 1 more than Riley's card. Okay? So I really think this is the best way to go about it, just because there are so few cards, and so we can just sort of think in our heads and pick situations out. How about 2? So can Sarah have card with the number 2 on it? Okay, well, Ben can't have the 1, so maybe Riley has 1. But then that would mean Wendy has 3. We could say no. Right? If she has the 2, Ben can't have the 1, so he's got to have a 3 or a 4. And that leaves Wendy's card. Being greater than Riley, she would have the highest of the 2 remaining numbers, either 1 and 4 or 1 and 3. But then her card is 2 more than Riley's at the least. And we need her to have her card be 1 more than Riley. So Sarah can't have a 2. And the way the question's worded, I would say you could probably stop there. But let's figure the rest of this out. Maybe there's another case. Well, can Sarah have 3? Well, Wendy and Riley have to have 2 consecutive numbers. So the only pair of consecutive numbers left here are Riley gets the 1, Wendy gets the 2, and Ben gets the 4. And that's okay. That satisfies Riley and Wendy's condition, and Ben doesn't have card 1. And the last case, can Sarah have the 4? Well, a very similar situation will work. Riley has the 1, Wendy has the 2, and Ben gets the 3, which we know is not the 1. So we know that Sarah cannot have card number 2, and we've done a little further. We know that that's the only card she can't have. Now, if we go back and check the way the question was phrased, what number could Sarah not have been given? It's kind of phrased as though there's only one number she can't be given. But it didn't take us that long to check the other ones, and it was a little ambiguous, so I'm glad we did. But again, if you think, it was worded fine, you think I'm crazy, worried about exactly what the last sentence is talking about, once you reached card number 2 can't be given to Sarah, you could have put down 2 and moved on. But I have been burned in the past, and possibly a number of you have also been, with not properly reading questions. That really did me in a lot. I did not read questions fully. I thought I knew what they were talking about, and then I would do it, and I would not look back. So I always like double-checking the wording. I like going back and saying, is this all the question asked for? And so Yeah, there's no S down here, but still, I like being short. That's question number 2, and the answer was 2, so that's kind of nice. And I really like the Mr. Matheson. So overall, I would say good question, and bring on question number 3. Hopefully you're saying that too, and I'll see you guys again in question number 3. So that's the next video.